Hi, I'm Matt Bubala here with another Fountain Report conversation. We're joined today by Dr. Tony Pease. He's the Chief Veterinary Medical Officer of the Viticus Group. Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Pease.
Great to see you, Matt.
I'm so excited to get to talk to you about the business aspect of veterinary education because it's so important. We know that for the industry, but it's also a big business. And there's always been kind of two big conferences, you guys being one of them, of course. I'm not going to name the other one right now.
I can't even remember what it's called.
I'm not going to go that far and get in trouble. But I will say that while other groups seem to be going after regionals and doing all these other things, you guys have had the Western Veterinary Conference and the Equendo Center and its additions over the years, which is a great hands-on learning resource. And just, I've always felt like you guys kind of lay low, kind of do your thing. And then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Instead of all the things that everybody else is doing, these regionals and stuff, why don't we just do another national conference? So you've announced another national conference starting in 2026 that's going to be in Nashville.
Correct.
So WVC Nashville.
Exactly.
Starting in 2026. Tell me why you guys decided let's do another national.
Absolutely. It is exactly what you talked about. So we kind of started realizing that with our buildings, we bring something more than just a didactic, just kind of teaching at a conference. What we really wanted to do is we bring that hands-on confidence and experience. And that's kind of how we even have our lectures based out of. It's a lot more interactive. But we realize it's not easy to get to Vegas. Like there's some people, especially on the East Coast, that it's hard to get all the way over. And we're doing 44 hands-on labs this year. We actually do about 60 hands-on labs over the course of the year after we do the conference. So it's a huge resource because we also realize veterinarians, they really they know a lot of stuff, but they really love the confidence that gets built from having questions answered in person and being able to do procedures. So we realized, gosh, how do we go to the East Coast and where could we take everything that's fun about Las Vegas and where in the East Coast could we have something that's close to a nice airport, it's going to be really accessible but fun. And Nashville just came to mind. We were just like, it's just a perfect fit. Some people call it Nash Vegas. So it just works out really well that this way we can have everything that you love about Las Vegas in February when we do WVC. If you can't make it there, well, we're going to give you something in August of 2026, all the way down in Nashville. It's going to be the best of the best. It'll be a little bit smaller than here, but we're going to have the full-blown exhibit hall. It's going to have over 150 vendors. We're going to have a huge party out there, and it's going to be smart, serious fun is kind of what we're calling it, where we're going to make sure that we get the education people need. They're going to get the hands-on training that they know and love, but they're going to do it in an environment where they can make friends and network and do all that sort of stuff that they've come to expect from 97 years at WVC.
Now you're saying it's going to be a little smaller than this, but I imagine that's year one.
Year
that's not
one.
The plan, I'm guessing.
That's exactly right. We're in the Music City Convention Center, and I don't know if you've seen it. It's shaped like a guitar, so it's super fun. And yeah, we are planning on just blowing it up. So we're getting the entire exhibit hall space, and that's the reason why we're not going for regional. Like we've told, and we got so much sponsorship support. We have over 700 vendors here in Las Vegas, and they're all so excited to go to Nashville. So it's going to be huge, and that's kind of what we're really shooting for.
I've been to some veterinary conferences there over the years. AHA had a few there, and it's a beautiful, newer convention center, and right next to everything.
Right.
The nightlife is all right there.
Right, exactly right. And we have all these hotels in the area that we're contracting with so that you can find a place that you're going to be right downtown. It's not that far from the airport, so you're going to be right there. And actually the building that we're looking that should be open about June 2026 is actually halfway between the airport and the city. So we have a perfect location that you're going to be able to get everything without being on a bus or being on a transport for long periods of time. So it's going to be just instant. You get there, you get to learn, you get to network, you get to party, and it'll be great.
Not only are you doing another national conference, you're building another huge hands-on learning center. Here in Las Vegas, you have the Equendo Center and the Eastern Center, huge, I've been there with you many times, beautiful hands-on learning labs that cater to animal health and human health. You're replicating that out there. Tell us a little bit about these learning centers and what they mean for the veterinary profession.
Absolutely. I mean, so right now, as you mentioned, we have a 70,000 square foot facility that we started out with called the Equendo Center. And we found that it was great for hands-on learning, both anything that you could imagine between surgery, anesthesia. We do endoscopy and ultrasound dentistry. A lot of the things that when I got out of vet school, I was like, I'm not very comfortable with this. Let's give some advanced training with the world experts so that you could really hone your skills. Well, we had that for a couple of years and realized we started outgrowing it. So like you said, we got a second building right nearby, and it's actually just walking distance between the two. So now we have 140,000 square feet here in Las Vegas, and we're already still filling it up. And what we really find is that people are longing for that sort of hands-on training with techniques that maybe they learned in vet school and they haven't really used, or maybe they want to take diagnostics to the next level, but they want to be trained by these experts. And so that's what we're going to be bringing to Nashville. So we actually have 2 more buildings that we're contracted, and we're going to have 80,000 square feet, and it's going to be pretty much exactly what we have over on the West Coast is bringing to the East Coast. So everything you know and love about dentistry, about soft tissue surgery, we're going to be pushing the envelope, making it really, really fun, but also making it so that when you leave, you have instantly applicable information that you can go back and elevate your standard of care.
Just a few years ago, I worked on a project with you during COVID. We did a bunch of quick interviews because the world was changing. We didn't know what was happening. Had to move the conference one year, I believe, right?
We did.
Did you ever think we would be back to something where now you're doubling in size because you need to meet the needs of people coming in person? And how thrilled are you to have that going on?
And that's a really great point, because a lot of people say, why August? Why are we doing Q3? And as you said, what happened was, in 2021, COVID was still in full swing. We are always February, March, where we do WVC Las Vegas. And what ended up happening was we said, okay, we can't do it. There's COVID and everything. We're going to push it to September. And when we did, people were thrilled. They were just like, oh my gosh, you should keep it in September. This was amazing. It's towards the end of the year. I couldn't make it out in January or February, but I love the fact that it's in Q3. This would be really helpful. So all of a sudden we started thinking, there might be something where we need to start looking at a national conference towards the end of the year. And that's sort of where all of a sudden we started thinking, we were like, why have it in Vegas again? Let's look where we could actually have it and reach more people and get it so it's just as accessible as we are in Las Vegas. But maybe they don't want to come to Vegas. I don't know why. It's an amazing city, but how do we actually replicate that? And that's where Nashville came in.
Well, I think speaking from the business aspect, I've been doing veterinary marketing for 20 years, and every time I'm pitching a company, that's the time of year they're making decisions. So I think it's brilliant to have something where people, companies can come and sponsor and do things and, educate veterinary professionals, help be part of helping all of that, but also bring their teams. I imagine you will try to cater as much as you guys possibly can to getting those team meetings where they're making their plans for the year ahead.
100%. As you said, what's really interesting is, people are wrapping up the year. They're trying to make their last minute purchases. They're really trying to try to figure out what the year end is going to look like. But it's also, kind of in that budgetary cycle where they're sort of going, okay, they've just finished making some decisions, or they're right in that message. Let's go ahead and talk to our partners and let's have a huge partner meeting. Because I think networking is by far one of the main reasons we started seeing conferences coming back. You can go online and you can get a huge amount of information, but you miss that person-to-person, peer-to-peer interaction, not just between you and the instructor, but you and all of your colleagues that are having the same questions, the same information. As you said, when we hit COVID, we were like, is this ever going to come back? And when we started back up again, it was amazing how quick everyone was like, yeah, I'm done being locked in. And because the accessibility of online education is good, but I really find that it's a supplement to these larger kind of conferences, something that can cater to everything. And that's what we really like, is the fact that from we have turtles to fish to horses to cows and dogs and cats, we cater to everything. And so that way, when you come in here, it's like a cable network. You can't just kind of go, I don't have something that I'd be interested in. There is something for all the days that we have. So it's amazing how much that really kind of blends together.
Let's jump back with a couple minutes we have left to the hands-on learning, because that's completely separate from the conferences, yet tied in some ways. Tell people a little bit, if they haven't really heard enough about it, what kind of courses they can come see there if they're a veterinary professional and be a part of, but also for companies or organizations that want to create something. You guys like partnering with people. It's not just you put this on all year long. You want people to come say, hey, let's do 3 days, let's put this on, and figure out how to help them do that, right?
100%. And I mean, from anything from companies that actually sell equipment that want people to get it into their hands. That's one of great partnerships that we do, but also some of the companies that recruit and try to retain. It's sort of, how do I grow my personnel, especially not even just veterinarians, but veterinary technicians, front office staff. Like we create content for whoever would like to have these interactive sessions, which is great because we can actually do team talks where you all of a sudden you bring in your veterinarian and a technician and show them how to do surgeries together and how you could become more optimized. And so that's something that we'll do. But really, when it comes down to the hands-on learning, we find that we kind of center around, as we talked about, endoscopy, ultrasound, dentistry, soft tissue surgery, and orthopedic surgery are kind of our cores. We still do ophthalmology, we'll do small things, but one of the other things that's so great, as a chief veterinary medical officer, my role is to create this education. So if anybody has any sort of ideas of, wow, this is what I'm really interested in, my information's online. Call me up, let me know, and I'd be happy to try to figure out how we can build something to meet that need. Because I'm the first one as a radiologist. I have a lot of friends in a lot of different areas. I work with general practitioners, I work with specialists, and we kind of say, okay, what's the need out there? And it's gone way beyond the fact that I just kind of go, okay, I'm going to build this course. I'm starting to go, okay, what does the industry need? And I can tell you right now, urgent care, emergency critical care is the huge kind of thing that's really exploding right now. And so that's where we're really kind of focusing more on, is how to do these urgent cares for people coming out of vet school who are just looking to be able to stabilize patients and be able to help kind of facilitate all these diagnoses. And that's really what we're trying to build.
Yes, we've talked about it many times over the years that a lot of kids, when they first get out of vet school, new doctors, they just haven't gotten enough hands-on in veterinary school. So coming to some of these hands-on sessions can really make a huge difference for that first practice that hires them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think vet schools do such a great job at basically giving everybody the fundamentals and the foundation for it. But just like anything else, man, you just need practice. And the problem is when you're in practice, you're so busy and you're just kind of going from, you're in the weeds, you're just doing and doing. And so what we like to say is the reason we love bringing people out to Las Vegas and soon Nashville is it kind of is an immersive program. You don't have any worries of the hospital. You don't have to worry about anything else. You're not trying to squeeze it in between patients. You are dedicated for that 2 to 3 days that you're going to learn this technique. And we get so many success stories where they're like, you know, I got back and 2 days later I saw the case that I did exactly what we just talked about. And you're just like, that's great. And he's like, yeah, now I knew how to treat it. Now I knew how to elevate my care. And building that confidence is exactly why we do this. And it's amazing how much, not just going to the conference to see your people and building your confidence there and getting that refresher of the cutting edge things, but as you said, even the exhibit hall, going in there and just seeing the new products and being able to talk to those reps and being able to actually know what you're trying to buy and see it and hold it and feel it is amazing. And so that's really what we're trying to say. Let's bring that to the East Coast. And so we're so excited about Nashville.
Dr. Tony Pease, the Chief Veterinary Medical Officer of the Viticus Group, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Matt. It's great to see you.
That's another Fountain Report Conversation. I'm Matt Bubala. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.